Welcome back, my DIY nomads. I hope all of you guys are doing really well today. Quite exciting. The mezzanine is now in. It's not 100% finished though. I can't go up there just yet, but the structure is in. We're just waiting for the paint to dry because it's cold at the moment and it's a very durable oil-based paint, so it's taking quite a while to dry. Once that's dry, get up there, board up the upstairs, which is good because we've got all the board just behind me here. So let me give you a quick tour of what I have visioned in my mind. Got the stairs going up to the top level up there. That's probably going to be used for office space and lots of storage. Maybe even have a couple of chairs up there so we can have like a chill out area, you can have like a cup of tea up there. And this is the general structure. I didn't know how the legs of the structure would be laid out, but we've got this little area here, and cool. What's quite useful is that this is almost made like a booth. So what I was thinking is that I can board all this up, give it a doorway, and I can make a sanding grinding room so that all of the dust and bits and bobs and everything doesn't get into the main area, the main room, and I can get a good extractor system, filtration system to go in there. And then that just leaves all of the rest of this space, probably have the kitchen and everything underneath there because the pipe works all there anyway. And yeah, then have more workshop area over there, vans here. Oh, great stuff. Access to the unit is really limited at the moment. I can't get the van in, so I won't be doing any building work today, but I'm going to review all of my bits of plumbing, all of the water system that I'm running through. Also, exciting news. Okay, so I am getting a lot of questions about the fire truck. I totally understand. The mezzanine has been the deciding factor on when I can get the fire truck in. So while this is sort of being finished off and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to get the van in. I'm going to try and finish off as much as I can, and we're going to go and get down to the fire truck and try and work out any way that we can get it to here. I plan to have the fire truck in by the end of the month. We're going to try and get some batteries on it to see if we can get the air brakes off, because the air brakes are locked on. If that's still not working, I'm going to have to get a mechanic down there to try and release all the air, like just try and sort out what the situation is. Pretty sure though that it is just a battery issue, and we just need to get the batteries in to get air brakes off so we can then get it out of there and get it basically delivered here on a flatbed. But let's quickly shoot home and crack on with the rest of this video. Now, before I get cracking and show you guys off the bits and bobs that I got in the post for my water system, just want to say a massive thank you to all of you guys. Always so helpful, always so knowledgeable. Everyone's just happy to, lend their sort of 2 cents, as it were. And yeah, it's been really educational. So this was my current functional system. It just got no return valve to my water filter that went basically off on its own through the pump to the tap. This was going to be my shower outlet, but this tank is going to go over there behind the wall where that red crate is, and I'm going to run this pipe to the non-return valve, then to my beast boy. Look at the bloody size of this pump. It's definitely a step up. I was told to put this filter before the pump, but this is like a drinking water filter, and one person also mentioned there's no point me putting this for both the shower and the tap because it's just going to use this filter up for no reason, which is a very good point. Yeah. So what I plan to do is have no return valve to my pump, which came with a little clip-on filter anyway to get rid of particulates that don't need to go through the pump, so I don't need to get another filter for that. So then it's all filtered, goes through my pump, then it will go to my damper, then it will go to, before it gets to the filter, it's going to go to a T-junction valve, and it will then split off towards my shower and then off to the water for the tap, and that is where I will put the filter back in for the tap, and then the other one will go off to the shower, which will be powered by a small gas canister, and I do mean small, not like the tiny weeny ones you put between the gas hob cookers when you go camping, something a little bit bigger, but it's something that the whole shower system could basically, unclip and be taken out of this van very quickly and easily, which means that, and also having, instead of having one of those, like, even the 7 or 6.5 kilo gas tanks are just annoying. They take up a lot of space and they're big. The gas canister I'm looking for, it will fit in the shower room. It won't take up really any space at all. It'll just be in the corner, in like a little, you know, shower proof, drizzle proof box. And it means that I can also take the shower outside, so I can have hot water for shower or washing or anything I want outside for any reason that I might need to in the future. I feel like we're very close to being able to just run fully off electric on everything, really, but we're just not quite there yet for it to be effective and affordable. I mean, the electric heater I was looking at was nearly, it was nearly £1,000. I mean, there was a cheap there was a good deal I found that was going for 800 quid, but that's still 800 quid for hot water, and I would have needed to get also an expansion vessel with that, which would be more money on top, more space. It wasn't a small thing either. This 12 volt water heater was quite bulky, and for every time that it takes, what was it? It took 41 minutes to heat the water to 40 degrees, so it's a degree a minute. And it took 30 amps from the battery, which is substantial. If you have a 105 amp hour battery or a 95, that's going to take some serious, your battery's going to take some serious hammering. I know I do have the 220 amp hour, but still, that's going to really decrease the lifetime of my battery. So for the moment, I'm sticking with gas. I'm not too happy about having to use gas, but it's just more effective at the moment, just more effective. I've also got some pretty exciting news in regards budgeting. I wanted to run through, because I'm redoing this whole conversion. I'm redoing it. I'm adding some nice quality parts to it, but really nothing that is seriously killing the bank. I think I've been adding in about a further £500 to £700, which I'm not saying that isn't a smaller amount of money. That is still a good amount of money, but for having to replace a few things and get some really nice top quality parts in, so that the van runs closer to what I feel is like my house, like my home, it's good. It's good for me. I went through all my receipts and I tried to work out in my mind, once this conversion's done, how much has it really cost me? And it's going to be around £4,000. That means from going from a bare van, insulating it, to plying it out, to getting all the bits and bobs in here that I have, it's around £4,000. Some of you may be thinking like, oh, £4,000, that's a hefty amount of money, there's no way I can afford that. But then I decided to look at the same layout, but if I changed 3 things in the van, how much I could bring it down by. If I decided to choose propane for cooking, and I didn't have the Wallace, changed it to a propane cooker, and then I didn't have my Vitafrigo fridge, and I changed that to a like a Dometic cool box with a lift up top, which heats 30 degrees below ambient. It's not like a compressor fridge, it just heats 30 degrees below the ambient temperature. And then I also went as far as to change my 220 amp hour battery to a 105 amp hour battery. Still top quality, still really nice quality 105 amp hour, just a 105 amp hour, and that's still AGM as well. I could get the budget down to 2,200 to 2,300. So you can see why I was actually quite surprised when I worked this all out. But that's really promising, that's really cool. I'm trying to do mine to a very high spec, and I'm trying to have no sacrifices. And I think even with those other alterations, a 105 amp hour propane cooker and a smaller cool box, if it was all just packaged nicely in the kitchen and everything, I don't think there'd be you wouldn't really notice much of a difference. And a lot of you prefer the propane cookers anyway, so win-wins really. The only thing I didn't really include in that budget were my captain seats. But I didn't see this as a vital thing for a campervan conversion. You can take out the bulkhead and just have 3 seats up front. You really don't need to change them to the captain seats. Everything that I included in the budget were the things that I needed to change this to a campervan. Windows, cooker, sink, the fridge, all those sort of things, the water system, blah, 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 bed. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, the seats up front I didn't include, but that's the only thing I didn't really include, so still, quids in. Another little cheeky point to add is that I'll have to sadly be getting rid of my wooden roof rack. There's a plan to add some more, like another roof vent in the roof, but further back. And with my roof rack there, I can't obviously put it there, but also I can't open the top because it's so close to the top of the van. So I'll be getting rid of that. I'm really sad because it is really useful, and I have really liked having it to stop the rain hitting the top of the van when it's raining at night. But I will be looking to get a metal roof rack, and then I'll probably just clad it out anyway, so there is no way that the rain can keep tapping away at the top. Now, I'm sorry this has been a bit of a boring, sort of just talky video and haven't been doing anything in the van, but I'll be back to my usual hijinks next week. And if you've really enjoyed watching the series so far, please remember to hit like, and also please subscribe. It does really help the channel. And yeah, catch all of you DIY nomads next week.